Okay, now we'll finish talking about what's on these shelves. Here is, I think this was from a toolbox or something like that. It's for men to, or women to keep their tool pieces in. My husband gave it to me. It did have a lid on it. I cut off the little hingey things because they were sticking out and kept getting caught on stuff. But I like it because my husband gave it to me. It has these dividers so I can separate things. These are journaling cards. So there are cards that I make, cards that I print. These I actually purchased from, oh dear, I can't remember. It was a Etsy seller that I had never purchased from, but I saw these journaling cards and I loved them. So I just recently got them. I don't think I've even used any of them yet. So they're in there. I'll try to link that seller in the description. And then I have my grid index cards that I stamped on so they can be used for journaling. And some of these cards, they're purchased, like these. I've had them for quite a while. I've got these Project Life blanks. They're lined, and I've got some grid ones too that I can make things out of, and then it goes into bigger cards back here. So that's how I store my journaling cards. And it's very handy to just reach up here and grab it. And then I also have this box, which was a sewing machine drawer. Can you see the carving on that? I got this at a flea market. And you know, I wanted to get another one of these to put my journaling cards in, just because this is a lot prettier than the toolbox thing, but I can't find them anywhere. There were a bunch of them when I went and bought this, but the last 2 times that I went, they weren't there anymore. So this one has large index cards. Some are copy dyed and some are not, and library catalog card blanks. They're postcards, both vintage and most of these are vintage, I think. And these divider cards that I can use to make things with. I can copy dye them. Plain index cards. Oh, these are all the graph ones. And then these that I got at a flea market with the metal tabs. Catalog cards. And then these are index cards that I recently copy dyed. And then in the front I have my vintage playing cards. And I love this little sewing drawer for storing them in. It's kind of heavy to use one hand on, so I'll just leave it down here for now, and I'll bring this down. Again, this is something my husband gave me, and it used to hold his you know, the discs for computers when they used to use the floppy disks and stuff. So it has these little dividers. And this holds my library pockets and library cards. Also, I threw in these postcard sets. These are modern ones. One set I got at the Metropolitan Museum of Art, and I guess I got them both at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. This is Impressionism. And they were my postcards, but I thought maybe I would use some of them in journals, so I put them there. So on this side, I have the vintage ones mostly. So it's library card pockets that I take out of old library books that they are getting rid of. And also some of these date due little tickets. These are still attached to the books, so I have to cut them off. So look, I have a lot of these vintage postcards. Now, a lot of times when they're getting rid of the books, they'll have a big black X on them, on the envelopes, or there's just things on there that I don't want. Sometimes I can leave them. This is a pretty good one. I'd probably leave that. But I will often, this one is torn, you know, so I will cover them very nicely with scrapbook paper or digital printouts and stuff like that and make them look really, really nice. And then there's some pockets in here that I made. It's a big one. I didn't mean it to come out so big. I really like it, but it's really too big for a junk journal. I don't know what I'll ever do with it. And whoops, here's another one that I made with an old book page. That one I can use in a book. And then on this side are the modern ones. I don't have a lot of library cards left, and I don't have very many library pockets left. And then I make some with my Cricut, so they're in here also. I can make various sizes of them. And what else can I show you over here? I can show you my little box. Let's see if I can get this down without dropping it with one hand. I had to use my camera hand to help. Okay. Again, a gift from my husband of something he was no longer using. I put these labels on, but I'm going to use my labeler because they smeared and everything. But so I have various kinds of paper clips in the top drawers, and this one just says miscellaneous metalworks. So all kinds of things. Metal edges. I love these things. I got those from Close to My Heart, I think, years ago, and I forget about them, but I've used some. That one's empty. Got book plates in there, some Tim Holtz, and probably Paper Studio metal discs in there. That one says buttons. I have to change the label on there. It's got some miscellaneous pieces. The Tim Holtz ornamental book plates. A variety of safety pins in here. The bulb pins, the colored ones, the rusty ones, miniature ones. Book corners. And some fasteners in there. And then up here I have these. It also came out of toolboxes. And these have my tags. Some of them are homemade tags, and some are purchased, and some are made with my Cricut. And in here I have little sizes of sacks. It used to be a lot fuller than that. I've been using a lot of them. I guess I have to go visit Denise's shop again. And then this box that I collaged on, I think it was a game box or something, but I collaged on it. And this has the postage stamps that my mother gave me that she used to collect. I'm really enjoying them. Again, I can reach all of these things right from my seat. Here I have fibers and things that I use on my tags. So in this little plastic container, I won't open it, but it has the nice embroidery flosses. My mother gave those to me. She used to do a lot of needlework. And then I had silk ribbon when I used to do silk ribbon embroidery. I'm thinking I might try doing that again and make some little embroidered pieces to put in my journals. So I combined all of them into this one box. And then in this box I have my seam bindings, and this is a trim, some sort of a I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. It's like a stretchy t-shirt material, but it's in a skein like you would crochet with it. And Lee Pogue sent that to me, I think. I think it was Lee. If it was somebody else, I'm sorry. And some other fibers. But I use this quite a bit in my tags. I use all of these for tags. And then this little basket just has some of my yarn fibers and other types of fibers in baker's twine. And that just sits right on top. And then right here I have these shipping tag boxes. This one actually has shipping tags in it. It has white ones. And then I purchased some online. You can't buy these manila ones at Staples anymore. They have the white ones. So I got some of those and I put some in there. I have the rest stored elsewhere. And then this little box I use for tabs. I make tabs with my punch and with my Big Shot and my Cricut. And I also throw bread tabs in there because I use them sometimes. See, a little plastic bread tag. And then I have right here, I have my CropaDile and, or I guess it's a, I don't know if it's a Big Bite or a CropaDile. My friend gave it to me, the one that gave up all of her, yeah, it's a CropaDile. She gave up all of her paper crafting stuff. She gave that to me, and I think she gave both of these to me too. A corner puncher and a decorative corner puncher. And I have my plain little corner punches here, and then this is a crimper. It corrugates your cardstock. And then here I have my washi tapes. I showed you this. I love this. So I'm sitting at my seat and I can reach all of the drawers and pull them down and see what's there. And then the overflow was in here, and some people sent me samples on cards, and of course I can't put them in that little holder, so they're here. And I have a little bit of overflow, and then my little label maker from K & Company, the Smash book collection, and that just sits right there. So I'm sitting at my table. Let me see if I can move these boxes out of the way here. I'm not going to go into great detail here, but right in front of me I have these little boxes. I showed this in a previous video when I did another tour of my craft room. This is a cereal box that I cut and covered with paper and glued together, and it holds my guest checks and little notebooks that I use and just various things I need in front of me. This box has sticky pads and these lined tablets and things like that. I use them often for journaling spots. This little thing that my husband gave me, also from his toolbox, has my tapes that I use all the time, my red line tape, and usually I have a glue stick or two thrown in there. And then my glues that I use all the time are right here in front of me. Sorry, I don't know what I did to my camera. This is my pencil and scissor and ruler and sharp thing container. It's divided. I like that. And I keep my ATG tape right here, my reinforcements, and this little box of pins, which I use to unclog my glue. And then over here is this divided container that has more. Actually, there's two. There's one behind for items that I don't use that much, and then this one that has a couple of punches and a glue that I have to keep upside down, my Cricut tools, and my these kind of stamps that I always forget to use. And then I showed you my punches that are on this rack that my husband made. So that's my table. I'll be back to show you the drawers under my table.